Hey Preds Nation, Johnny here. Oh, were you expecting Jersey Guy to be in his intro part of the Preds fan reaction with me? Oh, well, I was expecting a full 60-minute effort from the Preds in this game, but they didn't show up, only for the last 40, and we all see what it cost them. So I'm going to do this in just one take, get it done, get it trimmed, and get it up so I don't have to do all the jump cuts that take so much time consuming, because this team didn't time consume to put effort into this game. The Preds lose 5-3 to the Buffalo Sabres Saturday night inside Bridgestone Arena, and this team is just middle of the road bunk right now. As Alex Doherty pointed out on Twitter tonight, they are just consistently inconsistent. In their last 13 games, they've won 2, they've lost 2. They've won 1, then they won 1. Then they won 4 and seemingly gave us some confidence as they went on that 5-game road trip, winning the first 3. Oh, but wouldn't you know it, in their last 2 games of the road trip, including the one tonight, their first game back at home, they have now lost 3 in a row. And this is just over halfway through the season. They have 6 more games to go until the All-Star break, when they'll have 34 games left to play when they come back. With these next 6 games, 5 of 6 of them are at home. They need to win 5 by any means necessary. If you can't win 5 of the 6, Poyle, you better start considering what you can trade off so that you don't just slip below the playoff bar and get right in the means of the very low chance of even to move up in the draft, because you can't get the first overall pick, for those who don't know, unless you're in the bottom 11. And right now, wouldn't you know it, the Preds are the 12th worst team in the league, meaning that if some magical stuff happens with the draft lottery, the most they can move up to is 2. And yeah, that's a pretty good pick, but if you want to increase your odds to get a good pick by moving up a lot, why not trade off assets and ensure you're going to do better? And if not, by falling into the bottom 11, have a good chance at Bedard, because this team tonight just didn't have it. I'm surprised they weren't down by more in the first period, when once again, just like the Montreal game, they allowed themselves to be outshot by a total of 14-5, and somehow they escaped the first period with a 1-1 tie. And then in the second period, they fall down 3-1. Props to the Preds for being able to tie the game in a span of 40 seconds, just under 5 minutes left to go in the period, with goals by Lazon and then Ryan Johansson. I thought, okay, they figured themselves out, they've calmed themselves down. Nope. What happened in the first 2 periods continued in the third, with bad defensive lapses of odd-man rushes and breakaways. How do you allow the go-ahead goal late in the third period to be while you're on the power play, shorthanded by the Buffalo Sabres? 2-on-1, then a breakaway, and you can't even clear the zone, and Buffalo is able to take the lead. The 5-3 goal wasn't even into an empty net. Just another bad lapse. After you were outshooting them, like I said, 14-5 after 1, you outshot the Sabres in the second and third period combined 36-19, but somehow you allow yourself to be outscored 4-2. My goodness me. Now this team has Calgary, which is desperately in a playoff spot just ahead of you, and the makeup game against Columbus for the flooded out game from American Thanksgiving on Tuesday, and then St. Louis, which is fighting with you back in St. Louis this upcoming Thursday. If this team does not give me some semblance of life, I will be fully on board for the tank. I'm not coming back. I'm not going to let myself be convinced, if this team does not win 5 of the next 6 games, that they'll have any chance of a playoff spot. Because if they go on some sort of a heater after the All-Star break, in the back of my mind, I know the other shoe is not going to drop. They are going to just go on a long losing streak to balance out a long win streak. This is how this team is made. And I know I've seen comments on social media already. Hey, Johnny, do you think that the Preds should fire Hines and Poyle? Why? What good would it do? This late into a season, it's not going to change anything, and certainly make this team a playoff team. This is something that good ownership would end up doing in the offseason to show the fans that they're not going to tolerate mediocrity anymore. A profit is nice, but you have to make a winner to keep the fans loyal and coming back, or eventually they're going to give up. And especially in a city like Nashville with a competitive MLS team in town that is growing in popularity, and we'll see what the Titans do in their offseason to get the citizens' bucks spent on them. If the Preds don't do something to spark interest, they're going to fade back into mediocrity and just barely make a profit every season. This loyal fan base for the last 25 years, 25th season is coming up next year, deserves to have a winner. Now, you can start by being a winner if you don't turn this around magically this year by letting yourself get bad enough to get into the draft lottery for a good team. That's what winners do. It takes a process to get there, but that is what has to be done sometime. You have to pull the Band-Aid off. So, one take, I'm done. I'm not reshooting this. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, as always. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like it. You can find my social media by clicking on a channel name. Tell all your friends about Predemption. And, oh, yeah, I can't even finish it. I'm just so ticked at this team's inconsistent play.